Name that bass line.
Name that bass line.
Name the bass.
Name that bass line.
Name that bass line, because Fluffy knows where I live.
Konnichiwa, low-enders. We're back with yet another episode of the only game show on YouTube that dares you to name that bass line. We've got 10 brand spanking new bass lines for you today, and our guest bassists are standing by the phones, ready to stump you with their latest picks. We've also got a mammoth surprise for you in just a few minutes. I'm your host, and no, I was not a hair donor for this very creepy sculpture of Beavis in human form. That thing is truly frightening. Let me start off with some exciting news. Last season I told you about the home version of Name That Bassline for your Super Nintendo gaming system. Well, I just licensed yet another awesome marketing tie-in. Have you ever said to yourself, I wish I could grow a plant replica of Fluffy Wagglekins right in my own home? If so, your prayers have been answered. Are you ready? It's the Chia Host. And unlike other Chia products, the head is made entirely out of delicious dark chocolate. So when you're done growing your Chia, you've got a healthy snack. These babies should be available right before the holidays. Once again, behind me we have on permanent loan the complete instrument collection of South African bassist Jukata Mumbalo. A few people wrote in and said they wanted to know more about Jukata, but were having trouble finding information. Well, here's a bit of trivia. Although Jukata did not play on Paul Simon's acclaimed Graceland album, he did purchase a copy. Okay, before I need to see a doctor, let's play Name That Bassline. If you don't know how the game works, you're going to hear pieces of 10 signature bass lines from 10 different artists. See if you can guess what they are. If you're really stumped, we'll have some clues along the way. And as always, the answers are at the end of the show, along with the names of the bassists who played on the original recordings. Great, let's play. I'll get the party started by playing our first bass line. I want to thank Dave Calderwood, one of our YouTube viewers, for suggesting this song. It's a pretty cool dance groove that went to number 4 on the Billboard charts in 1973. Here we go with bass line number 1. All right, time to let the guest bassist take over. First up is Adam Stevens from Ontario, Canada. Do you like the rapping hip-hop beats? The anger and the profanity? Adam's bass line comes from a song that was apparently written as a response to a diss by Suge Knight, and it angered... I have no idea what I'm talking about. But I would like to read some of the lyrics for you. Got a crib with a studio, and it's all full of tracks, to add to the wall full of plaques, hanging up in the office and back of my house like trophies. But y'all think I'm going to let my dough freeze? Ho, please. Here's Adam Stevens with bass line number 2.
Name that bass line.
Thanks, Adam. I hope this doesn't start a whole East Coast versus West Coast thing. Next, we're going to head over to Germany and visit our pal Louis Miller. Here he is with bass line number 3.
Now name that bass line.
You knocked it out of the park once again, Lou. Now, as I mentioned last time, this season, in addition to our regular roster of players, every show is going to feature a different guest bassist in the number 4 slot. As promised, today we've got a big surprise for you. From the CBS Orchestra on The Late Show with David Letterman, as well as his own amazing Beatles band, the Fab Four, here's the groove master, Mr. Will Lee, with bass line number 4. Take it away, Will.
Name that bass line.
A huge thanks to Will for taking time out from recording his new solo album, Love, Gratitude, and Other Distractions, to send in that bass line for us. Be sure and subscribe to his YouTube channel, Late Show Bottom End, and we'll have more from Will later in the season. Great. Next up is Paul Wolfe from howtoplaybass.com with bassline number 5.
Name that bassline.
Thanks, Paul. Do you guys know who played bass on the original studio recording of that song? The answer might surprise you, but we've got it at the end of the show. Next, we're happy to welcome back Alicia Moore, and she's treading on familiar ground with this one. Here's Alicia with bassline number 6.
Name that bassline.
Thanks, Alicia. I hope everyone visits her enormously popular YouTube channel, which she calls simply MusicLisha. I pronounced that wrong on the last show, and she opened a big can of whoop-ass on me. But I'm digging the one-name thing. Reminds me of Cher or Prince. Time to get down with another classic funky bass line. Most of you are probably already familiar with his YouTube channel. Here's the very talented Dave Marks with bass line number 7. As always, closing out the show is our trio of bass wunderkinder, Troy Hughes, David Karachi, and Thomas MarloweDK Rahzel. You may recall in the last show we had a little fun with David and his shirtless video. Well, he was such a great sport about it, so just to be fair, I asked our research department to see if they could dig up anything on Troy or Thomas, and they hit the jackpot. Now, we all know Thomas from his very successful YouTube channel, but how much do we actually know about his past? Check out this extremely rare footage and see if you can spot our friend.
I won't pay the price. I'm not in this for money. I do this for love, sex, and money. And the little spice. We lie for worth it. No matter what the price.
I'm going to venture a guess that that one is from the 80s. You know, between me and Dave Marks, I thought we had the wacky hair thing covered. But this clip proves there's always room for more. Nice work, Thomas. But wait, there's more. Did you know that last year our own Troy Hughes was the spokesperson in a very controversial public service announcement? The backlash was so strong that it was pulled immediately after its first airing, never to be seen again. This footage was incredibly hard to obtain, and I'm not going to tell you how we got it. Let's just say it involved me in drag. Here's the YouTube world premiere of Troy's Lost PSA.
Hello, I'm Troy Hughes, president of the Center for Bass-Related Disorders. Today I'd like to speak to you about delirium fretlocilius, a serious neurosis affecting bass players all over the world. Did you know that every year, nearly 1 in 5 bass players make the irrational purchase of a fretless instrument? And armed with little to no practice, the afflicted bassist often attempts to use their instrument in a band setting, resulting in a cacophony that can be best described as the 4-stringed equivalent of a bent slide whistle. In just a few short months, or even weeks, as the disease progresses to the denial phase, these innocent fretless basses are typically cast aside, unplayed and neglected, forgotten in the backs of closets, collecting dust under beds, or worst of all, resold at a deep discount on TalkBass or Craigslist, only to be repurchased by other sufferers again and again and again. If you or someone you know are unsure as to whether or not you may have delirium fretlocilius, some symptoms include using vibrato on a Sex Pistols cover, a burning sensation in your wallet brought on by a large federal income tax refund check, the purchase of flat wound strings, the uncontrollable urge to slide up or down to every note, and the most common symptom of all, the desire to never be in tune. If you exhibit 2 or more of these warning signs, join a classic rock or funk band immediately. you may have delirium fretless. Lie down with your feet elevated and put on a Rush album. Avoid listening to any smooth jazz, and most importantly, make sure that all Jaco Pastorius albums are sealed tightly in plastic bags. And just to be safe, remove any Joni Mitchell stations you have on Pandora. She's tricky. Fortunately, delirium fretless is not fatal. However, once it takes hold of the bassist, there isn't much anyone can do. Early detection is vital in order to prevent yet another needless purchase. While a cure is still years away, luthiers are working tirelessly around the clock, and there is hope. I should know. Not only am I the president of the center, but I'm also a client. Won't you help us by making a donation? Call our toll-free number right now, and thank you.
Great stuff, Troy. I hope you've since been cured, and we're all pulling for you. Here's Troy Hughes with baseline number 8.
Name that bass line.
Thanks, Troy. We'll have more from him next time. In the number 9 spot is our old friend from Switzerland, David Caraccio, aka DavidSinRocks on YouTube. Keep an eye out for the brand new album from his band, Deep Kick. Today he's got something classic and funky for us. Here's David with baseline number 9. Thank you, David. Bringing it home for us is our friend from Copenhagen, Denmark, Mr. Thomas MarloweDK Rahzel. He's got a rather odd song choice for us today, the lyrics of which make reference to a woman performing zoophilia with a poodle. Did I just say that? No matter, here's Thomas with baseline number 10.
Baseline.
Very nice, Thomas. That's going to wrap up this episode of Name That Bassline. My sincere thanks to all of our guest bassists. Please be sure and subscribe to their channels. You can find the links right on my channel page. And of course, stay tuned if you want the answers to today's basslines. Till next time, hold down the bottom for me. Page 1, take 4. And of course, stay tuned if you want the answers to today's bass lines.